Howdy folks, so welcome to part 9, and today what we're going to do is try to make some smooth movement for the player so it's not so jumpy and everything. And so I wanted to show you, I looked it up, and if you want it just an empty line, you can actually just do that. You just put a semicolon and you can put a breakpoint there. So just an FYI. But let's get started on this. And so what I want to do is when the player moves, we want to, here we go. We want to store the player's previous position. So we're gonna go like this, int and player previous. And I know that we have this last two, but it's different. It's going to be different, okay? It's going to be different from this trail because this is just going to be the last position. And if the player doesn't move at all, it's going to be different than versus this kind of thing. So player previous X and player previous Y. And so we're going to basically go like this. Player previous X equals player X, and then we're going to do the same thing, previous Y equals player Y. There we go. So this is going to store wherever the player actually was last time. So this is at the start of this, it was a valid position, and so we're going to store that, and then basically the player is going to be moved or not moved, but this is going to be the old position and this is going to be the new position. And so then when we get to our, here it is, our drawing of our player, and we're going to draw the player here, what we want to do is we want to go, you know what we need to set, we're going to need to set that, we're going to need to initialize that to 0 too when we first initialize all of our variables and everything. So what we want to do is we want to interpolate between those two things, and I think we're going to slow the player down a little bit. We're going to try moving this to like 6, and so that way the player is a little bit slower, and we can even move this down to 8 or something like that. And before I forget, I want to get rid of this stuff. Is it? Yeah, it's from here to here. So I just want to get rid of it. This is just the stuff that was drawing like the enemy trails and targets and stuff. So because that was getting confusing last time, having all that extra information on the screen. So what we want to do is we want to interpolate between players' previous and current positions based on player timer. Okay, and so we're going to go from 0 to 6. I think that's 6 thingies. So we're going to go int draw X. We're just going to do this for this right now and make this simple. Equals, and what we want to do is we want to take the player's previous position. Oops, player previous X, and then we're going to go, because we're going to go from there to the current position plus, and then we're going to do player X minus player previous X. Is that going to be right? So if we're going here, if our old position is 5 and our new position is 10, we want to go 5 plus 10 minus 5. Yeah, times, and this is going to be times our scaling here, which is player timer. Let's see, player timer times 1/6, so 0.167, and I'm not sure if that's going to be 1/6 or 1/7, because we're going to go from 0 to 6, so it's 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7. You guys know your times tables, right? And your divisions tables. And if you don't, you should print them out from 0 to 20 and memorize them just like you do your times tables. It's really handy. So we're going to do that, and then this is going to interpolate between the last point and the previous point. Is that everything? Which parenthesis is not closed? That's closed. This is, oh, we need to make this an integer. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to force this all to an integer. There we go. And then we're going to go times W. And so we can do the same thing for Y. Let's space this out here. Let's go same thing with Y. Make sure we get all the Y's, right? And are you guys sick of me talking about how much I missed that? And we're going to go draw X. And we're going to go draw Y. And we need to take that out. Okay. So that should do that. And then we need to set these when we initialize the enemies and stuff. See where that is. That's going to be when we first set the player position. Where is the player position? Where is the player X? Player Y? Yeah, we need to do that here. So int. Where did I put that? Where did I put those variables? Equals 1 and y equals 1. Where did I put these? Let's find all references. Where did that go? I think I put them in that player moved. Where'd that go? Player moved. Yeah, there we go. We need to take those out. Okay. So that should do it. That should initialize it, and we should be able to go from one to the next. Let's see. And it's not. Huh. Is it just taking the same thing? Is it? Let me see here. Because this is doing that and then it's moving it, right? And then we're drawing it here, plus player X. Let me see what's going on here. All right, let me look at this for a second, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to troubleshoot this in action. So we're going to go if player previous X is not equal to player X, and we're going to break here. So we're gonna break when that happens, and so let's see if we can. Okay, so player previous X is 2 and player X is 3. So now our draw X should be interpolated. So player timer is 1 here, right? Player timer is 1. Okay, so player previous X, player X is 3, so 3 minus 2, right? So we have 1 here. Let's go like this. So we have 1. Come on, you can do it. This is 1. This is 2. 2 plus 1 times 1/7. So 2 plus 1/7, right? So what is draw X going to be when we get to here? Oh, duh. Because we're making this into an integer before we actually multiply out. I'm an idiot. Okay, so let's take this out. Let's go like this, and you know I want to make this bigger too. Where is our drawing? Why don't we make this 32 so our screen is a little bit bigger? And we're going to go, we're going to put this in our parentheses. I think is what we need to do. Let's go like that. So now it's going to multiply by W, and then it's going to take the whole thing and make an int out of it. So let's try it now. It's a nice big display. Okay, that's interesting. It's just apparently it's not taking the move. Okay, let's try this again. And let's see what happens here. So player previous X is 1, player X is 2. So we're going to go X is 2, previous X is 1. So we're going to start at 1 and we're going to move by plus 1 times 0. Okay. I'm kind of thinking that this W multiplying is a problem too. I think we need to separate that out first. All of this and then multiply by W. Let me see. Because draw X here, let's see what draw X player timer is 0. Let's first of all we're going to go to the next one so that it's 1, 2. Okay, so we're going to go to 2 and then we're going to see what draw X comes out to. It comes out to 10. Okay, and then if we put that in parentheses, and what are we going to get? 41. Yeah, see, that's, I think that was the problem. Okay, so let's go like this and this, and let's see if it works. There we go. Why isn't it going up now? Okay. Let's run it again. There we go. All right. Now it's working. Okay. And the only weird thing is it seems like it is pausing. I think we're going to have to try 1/6 because I think with the 7th it seems like it's skipping a little. Apparently we can't go past the edge, and I think it's not showing us the final move for some reason. Let me see. Oh, you know what? We're going off the screen here too. Let's see if we can do that. This needs to be bigger. So 40 times 32, right? Let's go back this way and see what happens. Yeah, see, it's not letting us go, but our position is actually there. Because I think our position is actually there, which is why it's not letting us move further. So I'm going to have to check. I think when we get to that, it's not actually drawing it. So let's check out, we can comment this out or delete it for right now. Let's go check out when the player moves, if it's, because the player position, I think what we need to do is we need to go into the console and write this stuff. So why don't we go dot write line, and then we're going to go player X plus comma player Y, and then we should be able to see what's happening with this. You know what, let's before I forget, let's go to the forum here and we're going to make this, did I say 40 by 32? Isn't that what I said? So why is this smaller? Because 40 by 40, I don't know, let's make it 900 by 900 and we'll see how that's going to work. There we go, and let's move this stuff over. Whoops. Can we? Yeah, we can copy all of it. Okay. We can resize our form too and fit it. Okay. And is that going to fit on the bottom? Nope. Let's see if we can get it to fit on the bottom. There we go. Okay. Whoops. Why did it size it? Let's try this again. Stop that. Go away. And go away. Just go like this. There. Okay. So now I want to go back to our code window here. So let's see if this is going to... it's still not enough. But... So let's look at our console while we're doing this. 4, 3, 2, 3. It is actually only letting us move to 2. Okay. Maybe we did make that our bounds or something. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. All right, so it looks like we've got our player movement fairly smoothed out. I do need to get this sized up because our W is 32, right? So why is that 32? Our max size is 40. 30 times 4. Oh, it's 1200. Why am I thinking? Okay, so let's just go maybe 24 instead. Let's try 24 times 40. That should work better. It'll still go just a little bit off the edge. Yeah. Okay. So a couple more things that we need to do is we're going to apply the same sort of thing to the enemies and make that happen. And the other thing we need to do is we need to... I know there was something else. We need to make these guys, this guy here, follow the scent trail. Let's make sure that this is still working. And we need to get these mazes set up so that there's always a valid starting position and ending position. We need to find where we're going to put the goal and stuff too. We need to decide where we're going to put the goal. So, and yeah, this is a little bit slow. So I'm thinking maybe we can make this. Maybe we can make this 4 again. Let's try 5. And let's see what happens when we make this a 2. Make this a 5th. And then the enemies are going to be slower. We can leave them slow for right now. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. So it's still a little bit not as responsive as I'd like it to be, but that's fine. It looks like it's really... Yeah, no, that's actually working. Okay, so it is doing the smooth drawing, and so we're going to do the same thing with these guys. And so let's figure that out, and we're going to do something similar. So we had the player moved X. What did we call it? Where are we going to go? Player previous X. So we need to do the same thing with enemy previous X. And where is that at? Int, whoops, enemy prev X and enemy prev Y, and we need to initialize. Why are these? Oh, because that. Apparently I deleted that. Then we need to initialize these. So when we do that, enemy trail, enemy X, yeah, here we go. So we need to go like this. Whoops. Put these in here, and we're going to go enemy previous Y, and we're going to put the same thing every time they move. we need to do the same sort of thing. So where is, that's in main loop, isn't it? Yep. So for each enemy, when they, this is when they're making a new trail. And just move randomly. Okay, so here we go. Enemy X equals, yep, there we go. So we're gonna go enemy previous X equals, whoops, we need to do I equals enemy previous enemy X I, sorry. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the Y. And I'm thinking that on first usage, this needs to be initialized too. So we need to make sure that we find references to that equals random. Yeah, so this. That is valid. So once, yeah, once this is actually set up, then we can enemy previous X I equals X I. So we're going to do the same thing here. Probably should have just copy pasted the last one, right? There. So now we should have the same thing with the enemies, and now we can interpolate their movement. So where is that? Pick repaint. When we move these guys, so we can go like this. We can take out the int part of this because we're just going to reuse this variable, and we're going to go enemy previous X. And that, and then is this going to be enemy timer? Yeah, enemy timer. Enemy timer, blah, blah, blah. And this is going to be enemy X. And then we need to put arrays on all these. Whoops. Okay, so we're going to need to do this for each enemy. So we're going to make a for loop here. Equals 0, I is less than max enemies, I plus plus, and we're going to put all this in our loop, and then we're going to end up using the colors for that enemy color I. So let's do that before we forget. There. Enemy X I, enemy Y I. We can get rid of these. And then we can do, and I'm not sure if that's going to do full color or not. I think I'm going to have to make a different enemy color, an enemy light color or something like that, but that's fine for right now. Let's just get this filled out. Make these into arrays. Enemy timer, that's fine. And this is going to be 1/8. Yeah, this is going to be 1/8, so we're going to go 0.125. And then we're going to do the same thing with X and Y. Swap all the X's for Y's. Okay, and then we should be able to draw X and draw Y. There we go. Okay. And so this should actually draw the enemies now. Oh, nope. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, because I declared it inside this for loop, so it's out of scope already. Okay. Or you know what, we can do, why don't we do this? We're going to take this out of here. We're going to just make this. Whoops. Comma, draw Y. There. Now we have those variables in this scope. That's fine. Okay. It's not, honestly, it's not that big of a difference either way. Oh, look at that. This guy's moving. Let's load it up again. Yeah, we do need to set their colors. Oh, that's cool. Check it out. Nice. That's really cool. Okay, so one of the other things we need to do is these guys, when they get next to you, they don't, when they get next to you, they don't attack you or whatever. So before we do that, I want to fix this enemy color before we forget. So we're going to go, we're going to comment this out so that we can keep these just for future reference. And then we're going to go brushes dot, what was it? Yellow. Brushes, comma blue, or dot blue, and brushes dot orange, and brushes dot red. Why don't we even make a few more? Yellow, blue, orange, red, brushes dot red, yellow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, cyan, dot violet. Do we have violet? Yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 2 more. Dot gray. And what's another one? What do we have? Let's just look through the colors here. See what we have. Gold, hot pink, indigo, ivory, khaki. There's all the light stuff. We could do, what is moccasin? Navy? Yeah, let's do navy. Dot navy. There we go. Okay, so that's going to give us our colors. Let's try this again just to see, so we can watch. Oh yeah, that's cool. Why is it suddenly not, why are they not moving? Is there no path? Oh, there's no path to me. There's no valid path. Can you see it? There's only diagonals. So yeah, when there's no path, they start. Huh. We'll probably want to add in a check. We'll run that pathing algorithm first and see if there's no path to the player, then initialize the thing. But yeah, what they'll do is they'll sit there because they're targeting a spot near you. So I think what we need to do is once they get within a certain distance, they're just going to go straight for the player. And they are able to get right next to you right now. So why don't we go, where is the movement here? Here we go, enemy trail position. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go right here, else is this because this is moving every single time. This is their chance to move. So I think we are going to just check. We don't need to do an else. We can go or some other condition, and we're going to go enemy X minus player X is less than, let me see, because we're going to do a few conditions. Why don't we lay these out here, up here, just so we can see. So we've got enemy X minus player X equals 0, and enemy X, or enemy Y minus player Y equals 1, and we need to do absolute value here. Math dot absolute that equals 1. So we're going to go like this. So if x is 0 and then y difference is 1, or we're going to reverse these. So y difference is 0 and the x difference is 1. So that's going to be all of our conditions. And I need to do that and that. And then we're going to wrap all that in parentheses. And we're going to put this here. So what are we missing here? We have that one being closed. So that, there we go. Okay, so this one is closed there. Yep. Okay, so basically if the x difference is 0, then the y difference is 1, then they're 1 away, up or down. If they're to the left or the right, then the y difference is going to be 0, the absolute value of y minus y. Yeah, so anyway, I got that backwards, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So we're going to do that, and if they're 1 block away and they get to move, then yeah, then they get to kill the player. So we're going to try this and make sure it works. And we'll rush up here, see if they're going to come get me. Okay, he got me before I was even there. Something was up with that. Let's go like this. Yeah, they're like hitting me when it's a diagonal. Let me see. I think our logic statement is flawed somewhere, because they're hitting it when it's a diagonal. Oh, and you know what it is? It's because of the visual. I think it's because of the visual. Because it's drawing where they were. Remember, it's drawing. It doesn't draw them on that spot until at the end of that. So yeah, it's when they're 2 away. Okay. So we need to. Okay, so maybe we need to check that at the very end of where, you know what I mean, at the when it gets to the end of its little interpolation, because that's kind of, I don't know, we can just leave it like that if they're 2 away, because they can't do that through walls. Let's double check and make sure that they can't do it through a wall. It's not going to work. Here we go. All right. So we're going to go over here, see if the yellow guy. Yeah, he's doing it diagonally. But yeah, see, they weren't doing it through the wall there. Let's see. They're not getting me through the wall. So there's that. Let's go back this way. See if we can get, I'm trying to get on the opposite side of the wall from them. Yeah, see, he wasn't hitting me until they got in there. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. We can just do something where they zap the player or whatever. So the other thing, I think we've got what we wanted to cover here. So actually, I think we're gonna call it here and make this a little bit shorter than usual, I think. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. And then next time I need to get some graphics put in here and stuff too. So we're gonna figure that out. But yeah, that's fine. They're close enough. We can just make some kind of little animation when they get there. Okay. But yeah, that's going to be... turn that off. That's going to be it for this time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add some graphics in, and we're going to make it look nicer. And basically, I'm going to create the graphics offline, I think. I'm not sure. I may or may not do that as a bonus part of this. But yeah, I'm probably just going to actually use Empyrean because this is intended to be part of that game. So I'll probably just do this in Empyrean. Basically use some screenshots to make graphics, like make a ship. Build a little ship that looks like something, and we can make those things move through the maze. But yeah, that's going to be it for part 9, and I'll see you guys in part 10. Later.